Hi guys, in this video we're going to look into mesh display. So mesh display is the way that your mesh displays its normals. We will look at normals in the future when we come to doing our high to low baking. But for now, we're going to look into mesh display. This is also sometimes called smoothing groups. So I've got two spheres here at the moment, and we can see their wireframes, their topologies are exactly the same. It looks nice and smooth here. If I click on this and go to mesh display, there's a lot of stuff in here, but the main ones I'm going to use are these two ones here. So I am going to run a harden edge over this sphere. Okay, so now the edges have been hardened. So now there's been no physical geometry change. If I select them, they're wireframes are still exactly the same, but now this one looks very different. So these are all now showing as hard edges, which means every single edge here, all these little edges that go around my sphere are hard. Okay. And these ones are soft. So if I click on this again, mesh display, and soften the edges, they'll go back to being soft. So when we have shapes like a cylinder, this has hard and soft edges. So its hard edge is up here around the edge, and its soft edge are these vertical ones going here. So if I was to mesh display and harden it, you can see it now looks more kind of jagged. But if I then do the same thing again and soften it, this time I'm now getting this really odd shading on this top where it's trying to make it look kind of round there. So what we need to do now is we need to harden a specific edge. So I need this edge loop here and this edge loop down the bottom. So now we'll look at this horrible black shading, and if we go mesh and harden edge, it will harden those edges. So it should now look, when I click off of it, hard on those edges there. So you need to define these in your smoothing groups. We can also look at this on this sphere. So if I just choose some random edge loops here and run a harden edge on those and click off of that, you can see that those particular edges are now hard. They're creased essentially, so they are displaying differently. I've not changed them, I've not changed the geometry, they're just displaying differently, hence mesh display there. So this is quite nice for low poly work. So if we run a smooth on this guy here, let's run a few soft selects on it. So maybe we're making a weird tree or something like that. Okay, let's say this is part of the leaves for the tree or something, part of the sort of the bushlight aspect of it. At the moment everything is soft and it's trying to smooth everything, but if I go to mesh display and harden the edge, I get this kind of really polygon-like effect, which can look quite good. It can be a stylistic choice to have hard edges on things. So if I now click off of this, sorry, I've now got this really sort of faceted kind of look to this, which catches the light differently. It's changing the way that the light's reflecting off of your model. Okay, so in this video we've looked into mesh display and harden soften edge at the top here. Okay, thank you very much guys.